Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bachiru. So tomorrow we'll be having a live stream for Guilty Gear Strive, where basically the developers they will celebrate like the 1 year, almost 1 year for the game coming out, and we'll also know things about the new upcoming season patch, season 2. So in this video, I just want to share like what are the things that I hope to see change, like mechanically wise, not character balance wise, just to make the game more fun and enjoyable. This is what I think, in my opinion, what would be good for the game. But definitely let me know, guys, what do you think in the comments below. Like, what do you would like to see changed in season 2? And as usual, guys, I appreciate your support. If you can leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't done already. And let's begin. Okay, so the first thing that I want this game to fix actually is the damage values. I feel like damage in this game is way too high. I know that it's way overplayed at this point, like how much the damage is high in Guilty Gear side. But for me, I feel like damage is so easily earned in this game, and I feel like that's something that should not happen, because a lot of the damage that happens in a game like Guilty Gear 5, it comes like from fishing, like from big normals, from etc. And the damage overall, it is, you feel like it's not totally scaled properly, in my opinion. So let me give you an example. So let's say I'm a run player and I get this reward, for example, if I catch my opponent not blocking. Okay. So post wall break, that's like, what, 50% of the health? And this is like from a heavy normal. So I feel like the damage distribution in this game is not really well implemented. So for example, if you do like a 5p combos, for example, something like that, the damage is way too low. But I feel like for this season 2, I really hope that they will like reduce like normal damage out of like those hits, because I feel like the damage is really high. I feel like high damage is okay in this game if they link it to risk, and I feel like risk buildup in this game is way too high, to be honest. So let's say, for example, if you do a combo like at let's say like a 30 risk meter buildup, so we'll do the same combo again. I know I did put the damage values, but as you can see, it's like really high. So I want them to link the damage actually to mostly to risk, and I also want them to link it to like counter hit states. But again, when it comes like to linking high damage to risk, I feel like the risk buildup need to be reduced a lot, because for a character like Ram, for example, I feel like the risk buildup is kind of stupid, and a lot of characters are having the same privilege, for example. So if you do something like that, that's like a normal thing. That's like 60% buildup of risk. I feel like damage and risk buildup and reward of like getting like your big hits, that's something that really need to be revisited in the next season. I really hope for damage reduction, maybe like 20% or something like that. So I feel like it's distribution across the board. That's something that will really benefit the game overall. The second thing actually that I want them to fix in this game is basically Gatlings. I don't want them like to add Gatlings like out of nothing, because we like out of anything, because we understand that Guilty Gear Strive is its own game, and I don't want them to turn it like to a Rift 3. But I feel like there's a lot of things that can benefit like from more cancels, because cancels in this game, they are mostly universal. So for example, your 5Ps go into 6Ps, your 5Ks goes into like your 2Ds, for example. So it's all over, like it's standard over the world. I feel like I wish to see like more unique Gatlings for specific characters overall. Maybe add more universal Gatlings, but I really wish for more Gatlings for other characters. So for example, I would like to see 5p into a 5k. I feel like that will be nice. For example, I would like to see also like a 4 slash into a 6 heavy slash. I want to see more Gatlings happening. The other thing also that I want to see is I want to see more dash cancels, because right now not all characters have the privilege of having like the dash cancels out of like their normals, for example, or their specials. So for example, a character like Ram, she can do a dash cancel out of her records. That's allow her, for example, to do like what do you call it, like a BRC setup. So I want to see more dash cancels actually, because I want to see people utilizing like Roman cancel for mix-ups more and more. Because as it stands right now, I feel like few characters actually have access to that kind of privilege of like dash canceling, etc. I just want to see like to have more options, like to be creative in the way that you apply pressure, but also in the way that you get combos. But I'm not a game developer, so I don't know how they will implement this like actually perfectly. The third thing actually that I really want to see nerfed, and I'm saying it nerfed because it pisses me off, to be honest, is command grabs. I feel like command grabs in this game is way too strong, to be honest. So why I feel like command grabs are strong? Because number one, the characters who have them that can apply them like really well for offense, and number two, the reward from command grabs is really high. So for example, for a character like Sol, if he grabs you, you lose like 25% of your health for a command grab, which is, in my opinion, nuts. The second thing is that command grabs beat a lot of things. So for example, if I do punch into a punch, for example, it will lose. So for example, if I do punch into a throw, it will lose for sure. So if you're applying pressure and your buttons like are plus on block, and your opponent is trying to do something, and you do command grab, most of the time it will win against a lot of things. The other thing is that, which I really hate, is that command grabs or throws in general, which also maybe this can extend to throws as well, because I feel like throws in this game are really strong. For example, they need to be adjusted a little bit. I feel like throws on whiff, you should not be able to RC. It should be similar to DPs. If you throw whiffs, you should not RC. If you command grab whiffs, you should not be able to RC. I feel like when you're like you're defending against like a character with a command grab and they're close to you, we'll talk about FD later on, because I know people will propose like, oh, FD or odd jump. Like it's a rock paper scissors situation most of the time, because they will do like a plus on block normal, and then they will wait. For example, if you try to throw, you try to like mash to get out of it, they will command grab you. If you try to jump out of the command grab and they have like 50 meter, all they will do is like purple RC, then they will jump and they will grab you. I don't like rock paper scissors. Actually, no. I kind of like rock paper scissors situation, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't want like only like the characters that have command grabs just to get this kind of privilege, and also for throws at the same time. So I hope they will really consider changing command grabs in this game. The fourth thing that I want to talk about actually is the reward on defense, because I feel like in this game, once you start defending or you're on the defensive, you're already losing, and that's something that I really don't like. I feel like defense needs to have more rewards. So let me elaborate. The thing is, in this game, like for example, like your close normals, they're very rewarding actually. So if you do them, so for example, they're -2, +2. So they're really, like for example, the close slashes are very like non-committal moves actually, or they're very not risky moves. The other thing is that also, since this game has a lot of long range normals, a lot of these long range normals, they leave you like at a distance that you really cannot be punished. And even if you whiff it, it's really hard to punish. So I'm not talking only about Ram, I'm talking like characters like Nago. For example, like this, his 5 heavy, I'm talking about Soul, his 6 heavy slash. So a lot of them, they leave you safe. So if you're defending most of the time, you're not really getting a reward out of it. The second thing is that like in this game, chip damage is really high, for example, and risk buildup is really high. So if you're defending, you're putting yourself really at the risk, so to get like really chips. So for example, for a character like Ram, if she manages to break the wall and she puts you like in positive bonus state, you're already like in a big mess, mister. So she can do something like that. So as you can see, like the risk buildup is really high and the chip damage buildup is really high, and it depends really on some of the characters. So some characters like they can really just chip you out. For example, like Happy Chaos. So how can they make defense rewarding? Number one, I feel like they really need to rework the instant block and the faultless defense mechanic, because I feel like the way that they do it right now is not really great. I feel like number one they need to do is they need to add a FD macro, because you have a dash macro, you have an RC macro. I feel like we really need to have a FD macro. Faultless defense and instant block faultless defense right now, they're starting to become prevalent like late into season 1 meta, but I want to see them buffed even further, because if you do FD, number one, the meter consumption of FD is really high actually. So let's put the tension. You really lose meter fast when you're doing FD, and even when you're defending, like, and you're using FD or you're doing normal defending, you're not really getting much meter reward out of it. So I want to see more meter increase out of FD rewards, and I want to see FD pushing opponents a little bit further. The second thing actually is I want to see like really honest rewards out of instant blocking. The window for instant blocking in this game is really tight, and I feel like there's not much reward out of it except for like ultra specific situations. So for example, let's say that Nago will do like his // Gatling, or Ram will do this. So the best way to punish this really is actually is you need to do instant, what do you call it, like instant blocks. The thing is, number one, the window is really tight. Number two, if you block all of this, the best thing you can do, for example, like a throw or like a K into a knockdown or whatever. So the reward is not really high. And third thing, you don't really get any meter out of it, and you really don't reduce the advantage on hit. So basically, all you're doing is instead of being pushed far away, what you're basically doing is, let's put, for example, like the block type, instant block. Basically, all you're doing is your opponent is not getting pushed away. And because of that, we start to have like a rock, paper, scissors situation. So for example, if you know that your opponent will instant block, basically all you can do, for example, is try to, for example, like fish for their instant blocks. You can delay, for example, just to get out of their instant block situation. So instant blocks should, number one, give some meter gain. Number two, in my opinion, it should allow you like to reduce the advantage on hit for your opponents and get like more the ability to get your turn on block actually. And I feel like that's what we need to do for that. The third thing actually is that I want to say is I want them really like to look into dash blocking, because a lot of the characters in this game, they have like really long range normals, and you really need to play a game where you're basically trying like to get near to your opponent. And I feel like dash blocking in this game is really weak. So for example, if you run and you do a normal dash, as you can see, there is like a small wind up before your character starts, for example, like defending. But if you do it with an FD, for example, you can immediately start blocking. But the thing is, since you don't really have an FD macro, a lot of times maybe if you don't do the input like really perfectly, you will end up like attacking or you will lose. So I really want to see dash blocking fixed, and I really want to see FD macros becoming a thing in this game. So yeah, and overall I want to see like a general gain of meter on blocking. I want defense to be rewarded in this game. I know it's a more offense game, but having a good defense is really important, and I want to see the developers like acknowledging that it will be rewarded actually. The last thing that I want to see change actually also in my opinion is the way that yellow Roman cancels actually are like behave in this game. Because to be honest, the way that yellow Roman cancels happen right now, I feel like they introduce like a random factor when it happens. So what do I mean by that? So if you do yellow Roman cancel, as you can see, it puts like a situation where we don't really know sometimes like whose turn is it. And even if you know, sometimes it feels like the defender is really on a turn, like his turn, and it's really hard to get out like of the, like what do you call it, like the freeze thingy of YRC. So you don't really know, like is it my turn, is it my opponent's turn, should I get thrown, will it be a blue combo? And number two, I feel like YRCs in this game is really weak, to be honest. Because for example, if you know that a YRC is happening, as you can see, death. really, YRCs in this game, they really need to be worked. And the thing is, you can really fish for YRC. So for example, if you do this, and it's like a counter confirm command, you know? So I feel like they really need to buff it. Do it like the, what do you call it, like, return it like back to a dead angle, or what do you call it, cross assault like in Blaze Blue, where if you do it, like you will push your opponent away and you reset the situation back to normal, or make it much faster. Because the way that it is right now, it's so much easier, like fishable, and you can get like really big rewards out of it. So as you can see, YRCs, I feel like they need to be revisited in this game, and I really hope they do something about it. Because as it stands right now, I don't feel really compelled to do YRCs in this game at all. I don't feel compelled that I need to defend in this game overall. Yani. I want to see more opportunities to be able to utilize the Roman cancel system, because a lot of the creativity of this game happens actually based on the Roman cancel. And I feel like for season 1, the foundation was solid, but I want to see the developers implementing something just to give the player more opportunity, like to use RC. And I don't want it to be like meter, like increase meter game. You know, that's a very lazy solution. I want them to introduce something like that reward you like for high skill for using your RC properly. So something that comes into my mind, and again, I know that Strive is its own game, but it's okay to borrow from other previous entries. I wanted to do something like a FRC. So for example, let's say in this game right now, if you do, for example, like RC into a fast attack, you see like you can cancel the animation. So I want, like, if you manage to do something as cool or as tight as that, instead of consuming like 50 meter, I want them like to allow you to use like only 25 meter. Maybe reduce the damage afterwards or the combo scalability afterwards, but give me the ability like to do something cool. So for example, if I do this, so allow me like to reap the reward out of it, you know? So don't just keep it like really standard. I want them to reward you like for using RC, and I want to get more opportunity to use RC, because I feel like the cool stuff happen in this game once you really have RC meter. And I feel like how the meta evolved, I don't feel like we are using RC as much as we used to do like when the first came out. And to be honest, the game was really fun when we didn't know the optimal stuff. I'm not saying that they should remove optimal, but all I'm trying to say is let us use the system mechanics more, reward us for using them, and allow us to be creative, and allow us to use the tools that you have in this game right now. In this video, I don't really want to address like character balance changes, etc., because that's very hard to do, to be honest. And always, as a player, like your opinion will be clouded by your main character. So, for example, as a RAM player, I want her to get like a better 2D. I want her to get command grab. I want her to get A, B, C, D. You know, but no, balance changes. Maybe we'll do like a wish list later on, and just like predictions. You know, just keep it a fun video. But for now, this is what I want to see changed in the game, like from a mechanical standpoint. And in my opinion, I feel like the game will be more fun, and it will be also more competitive in the long run. So yeah, guys, that's it. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what do you think should be changed in Season 2 for Cyber. What should be introduced, maybe new mechanics. Yalla, guys, and I'll catch you next video. Peace.